Hello everyone. My name is Adina Jipa, and I am your host here at Teach Me Live show. I want to welcome everybody who is live here, or if you if you watch the reply, um, hello. If you want to watch the reply later, hello again. So, if you are live here, let me know in the comments where you are joining us. And if you watch the reply, just put the hashtag reply in the comment and say hello to us. Today, I'm talking about social media audits with somebody who has quite a bit of experience with this process and help businesses eliminate time wasting on social media. So let me invite Melania. Melanie provides custom training for one-to-one and groups to help businesses owners to focus on the ideal client. So, Melanie, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So, as I said, we are going to talk about social media audits.
Yes.
So, why it's important to do a social media audit?
Well, ultimately, it's a review, an examination of the total social media presence of a person or an organization, which is what most businesses would be a whole company. And this means studying social media profiles, content, posts, posting times, audience engagement. It's like a really giant SWOT analysis for your online material.
Yeah. So, why businesses should do a social media audit?
Well, unfortunately, and I'm sure you've seen this as well, people aren't actually measuring what's working or not working for their business. Okay. And the actual process of doing an audit helps you understand, was it the image, was it the time of day, was it the call to action, was it the language that you were using? There's so many things that can go into the background of what makes something work and what makes something not work online. So ultimately, when we do a social media audit or when we're showing somebody else how to conduct one, their ultimate aim is to find out what they can do to improve their own social media presence.
Yeah. So, how often do you perform a social media audit? So, you have a brand. I know you have. I didn't say in the beginning that you have a stump, a social
Yeah,
media
stump.
stump. It's where you're offering trainings for social media.
Mhm.
So, how often do you perform a social media audit for your business?
See, this is a tricky question because I would recommend that you check your analytics every single month, but a full
Okay.
audit would be, I personally wouldn't leave it any longer than 3 months, because it depends obviously how many platforms you have and where you're promoting yourself, but if you're on several platforms, it can get quite data heavy. So I would suggest every size business to, at absolute minimum, to do a social media audit at least every 3 months.
Yeah. So quarterly, and even I think at the end of the year, it's
Mm.
beneficial to do a social media audit to see if there were some changes, if see the strategy is on the right way, if something to change for the next year.
Yeah,
Um,
I know we have this, especially over here in Ireland, we have a year end, financial year end of January to December. And over in the UK, it's, March to April, or April to March, rather, should I say. Um, but, your strategy doesn't have to start in January. Let's say you add a new product or service to your business, or, you buy something new for your business. And that doesn't mean that your year has to your year has to start from January. If you bought that product in March, let's say, then your strategy will go from March to March. So
yeah,
I do agree, having an overall holistic look, like an eagle eye look, at the year end, when everything's quiet and you're not in front of customers and that sort of thing's a really good idea. But your strategy is open year round, and you can start and finish it whenever you want.
yeah. Yeah, true that, true that. So basically, maybe to do an audit based on your campaigns, or maybe what the product or services you are selling.
Yeah.
Um, okay. If you have to do a checklist for a social media audit, what you should include in that checklist?
It can be quite lengthy, I won't lie. um, but the first thing you need to do now, obviously, if you're a brand new business, you're well aware of the kind of social media accounts that you're on. And social media accounts aren't just, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Of course, they are them as well. But there's Google Business Profile, there's your website. If you've got a separate e-commerce website or Shopify, something along those lines, those are all digital presences online. And I know people think, it's just social media, but it really isn't. So first of all, track down all of your current and possibly past social media accounts. And that would be where I would personally start. And then once you've got access to them, make sure that each account is complete. And part of your audit is to also make sure that it's on brand, that you're using the right colors, the right logos, right down to text, mission statements, everything. And so it's completely on brand and set completely right. And then this is all the sort of the overview stuff, but now it's getting down to the nitty gritty. And this is where tools can really help you. So content performance. So what has worked? What has moved your audience through a digital sales funnel? Have you built awareness, consideration, and conversion through? And what has worked and what hasn't worked? And can you explain why they have worked and why they haven't? And we'll go more into that shortly to do with sentiment. And so that's just the content. Okay, that's just the actual content. And then the next part would be the overall channel performance. So if, let's say, you've got 5 social media ways of digital presences, so not necessarily social media, and only 3 of them are really reverting to sales. So the other 2, maybe they're really, really good at building awareness, and you're building a relationship, but is it really working for you? Is it having a nice, friendly relationship with somebody who's not buying from you a good thing or not? And if it is a good thing, then you carry on. But if it isn't, it's time to stop it. And the only way to measure that is by spending time looking to see what's working. Then I would personally track results over a period of time. And there's lots of different ways to do that. There's tools, there's books, there's, whiteboards, Excel spreadsheets, whatever works for you. And then
Maybe a
it's worth
dashboard.
having sorry.
I say maybe a dashboard to create a dashboard and to put all the data that you gathered in the while you are doing the audit, and then complete the dashboard you created.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's worth seeing what offers you a return on investment, don't you think?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So I would look at calculating your return on investment where possible as well, which I don't think enough businesses do. I think they think, well, is it making sales or not? But sales isn't everything.
Yeah.
It's nice to have them.
Yeah, but it's difficult to do the direct attribution from what you're posting on social media and uh, for a direct sales, to get a direct sales.
Exactly. And then that takes you up to sentiment,
Yeah.
which is quite a deep area, and you have a tool for it, don't you?
Um, Actually, Social Insider doesn't offer sentiment analysis, but I know that some of our clients are searching through comments on social media. We're doing social media audit to see if there is a positive or a negative
Or
feeling
neutral.
of
Yeah.
or neutral right on a specific post. So before where agencies when are in the audit phase, they they go beyond analytics. They go beyond that an analytics tool they are offering, analytics at Social Insider or maybe the native analytics, and they search manually the posts, the comments of the post on social media, and in this way they can see, okay, so this for this type of specific on content, audience reacts in this way, and for this type of specific of posted, the audience reacts in another way. So it's pretty important to don't I don't know, don't limit your analysis only on the data you get from different, you name it, for different tools. Requires some manual work to dive deeper into content analysis and to have a deeper understanding of how people react and how people understand your messaging on social media.
Yeah, I mean, sentiment at the end of the day is people. I mean, if you look at a picture online, does it make you personally feel happy or sad or fulfilled or excited, or, and is it building anticipation? And that's exactly what this sentiment analysis does. But it kind of uses like machine learning and NLP overall, doesn't it?
Yeah. Facebook actually gives you a little bit of the sentiment analysis with those reactions, because if people react with love, maybe there is a positive feeling regarding that content, but not all the people are reacting with love or care, or usually they just press the like button and that's it.
And there's so much more than that, isn't there? There is so much more than that. It's the language people use when they respond to what you're saying in a post. And if they're going, yay, that sounds great, that's wonderful, you're obviously realizing that you're connecting with them on an emotional level, which is what you want every time.
Yeah. True. So we talk a little bit about tools. If you have any other recommendation here about what tools do you recommend to your clients to use for a social media audit?
Okay. Well, there are quite a few, and it's a very personal thing, and it obviously depends on budget and knowledge. And sometimes just how you feel. Again, NLP, how you feel when you're using the tools. But I've seen a great load of tools over the years that I've either had access to or been forced to use by clients, because we've all done that as well. So I've used Zoho. I've used OnlyWire. Yeah. Have you come across OnlyWire? I've used Buffer. And I've used Agora Pulse. And, they, in all separate ways, they show you different sections of, how you can respond to things. They tell you who your ambassadors are, who's advocating or, flag waving for your brand. And that's sentiment as well. So it just depends on who you approach. It depends on if you've got a large team or if you're working on your own. It depends on, like I said, your budget and how many social platforms you're using, because some of them are ideal for small platforms and, for a few platforms, but some of them are just better for corporates, really.
Yeah, true that. True. So of course, I'll complete your list with Social Insider because, as I said,
of course,
it offers. You can do a social media audit. You can analyze your content. You can see on a brand level how your brand performs on social media and on which platform your people respond with comments, like and shares. It gives you a breakdown of the engagement for each platform, and of course you can see the performance based on campaigns. Yeah. So I think in short, this is everything about social media audit. So my notes here regarding this Teach Me Live is it's important to do a social media audit to see what you're doing and what you should improve. what you're doing
Mm.
well on social media, and what you should you should take in consideration and maybe improve. It's better to not follow the quarterly or the yearly review, and to perform a social media audit based on specific campaigns, based on your on a product launch or a service that you are preparing to launch on social media, and not limit to this time range, quarterly or yearly.
Mm.
It's important to create your audit based on your website in general, based on the social media
Yes.
profiles that you have, based on your e-commerce, based on your brand guidelines. And once you have all these pieces, look at the content performance, look at the results that you get from that content, and of course, see how people react to your
Mm.
social media postings. Maybe you want to add something about audience insights, see if there is change in your
Mm.
audience. Maybe now we all know that uh, s- uh, some people are moving on TikToks, and maybe you see a change in your audience there. And of course, when it comes to tools, you have the native analytics, which are great for own pages.
Mm.
Yeah, maybe there are some limitation even there, but they are great if you create a spreadsheet and copy paste the numbers from the native apps to your spreadsheet.
The
And of
reporting's got
course,
better there as well, actually. You know, because you can export to all of these platforms,
yeah,
to yours as well, and you know,
yes,
and it
yeah,
makes sense of it. Because when you look at it
yeah,
natively, it really doesn't make a lot of sense. But when you use the right tool, it makes a lot more sense to people.
yeah, that's right. So all the tools that you mentioned have the option to download a spreadsheet, to download a CSV, to download
Yeah.
PPT, PDF, different type of reporting. And of course, maybe if you are an enterprise, I think that most of them have the option to integrate the data from the dashboard to a dashboard that you use in your company through, I don't
Yes.
know, Google Data Studio, or there are other connectors. So thank you, Melanie. Can you tell us where people can find you?
Of course. My website is www.stomp.ie, and you know, it's been an absolute pleasure to help people with their social media audit today. Sometimes all you need is a bit of confidence and the right tools.
Oh, so short and so lovely. um, One moment, because I would like to add the your website here.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so here you can find Melanie, and of course you can follow her on LinkedIn, because that was the place where I engage with Melanie on LinkedIn.
Thank you.
You can find her, Melanie Boyland. You can find her on LinkedIn and follow her and get more tips about social media, and you can learn more about the services that you are offering. So thank you so much for watching, and have a nice day. Thank you everyone. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.